All right, thank you for watching here on TikTok Live at Blooming Light. Oh, happy day, happy Saturday. Wherever you are in the universe, if you are a decent being in this universe, I hope that you're doing well. If you're not well, I hope that you are well on your way to being well. So the topic is why it consumes, okay? Why it consumes. Once again, thank you for watching here on TikTok Live at Blooming Light. For those of you who don't know who I am a survivor of narcissistic abuse, as is my son, who is an adult, differently abled, autistic young man, or should I say man, because he getting up there in age. But anyway, we're both survivors of that in many different forms, okay? And I've been on a journey of recovery for some time now, but I've been investigating and studying this stuff for some years and have gotten professional help, sought counseling, have worked with those who specialize in this industry. And I can just say that, wow, that's all I have to say about it. But what we're going to talk about here on this live, is why it consumes in terms of the survivor. The survivor. Now with narcissism, whether people have clinical diagnoses or not, we're not going to really get into all that. But there's various different forms of it, and there's various different forms of abuse. Okay? And when you study it and you research it, you'll get into finding out how that affects the person, the target, in a whole sense. Okay? One of the most insidious forms of narcissistic abuse is covert. Okay? It's covert, communal, and religious narcissism. And I say it's insidious because it's the guise of, I am a pillar of society, I am a godly person, I am a spiritual person, I am a giver, and then with the covert, it's usually secret, it's hidden. And so that makes it insidious, especially if it's not some physical markings that you can trace and go, yeah, here, and go to the place and be like, see, then that makes it a thing. So the survivors, okay, and I'm sharing this information for people who maybe you don't know about this stuff, like the mass majority of humans, okay, especially certain populations, okay, they're not teaching us this shit. Let's just keep it real. They're not teaching us this shit. Okay. So it's going to help for those who hear, okay? For the world, or for the humans that still have a capacity to stretch beyond what they've ever known, this will help you to maybe evaluate and realize things that maybe you couldn't before, okay, as it pertains to how it affects the target. And why the targets end up, it just depends on what happens. Okay. Targets, you will possibly see some targets get into reactive abuse, but even past that, okay, reactive abuse is really just, the target having some kind of an emotional expression of the accumulation of what has happened to them at the hand of the abuser, whether you know about the abuse or not. Okay. But why, they end up getting classified as, at some point they're classified as obsessed. It's fascinating to me though, because the abusers are the obsessed ones, but the targets do get classified as obsessed. So I'm going to stall just a minute to look on the screen here just to give some time. I know my folks may be busy, sleep, working, or with family or whatever. But I wanted to hop on real quick. If you're coming and staying in, I appreciate positive vibes and support. Tap on the screen to show your support. Those of you who are just going through, I get it. No harm, no foul. It's the name of the game in social media. Respect, okay? I ain't tripping like that, okay? But if you're staying for a reason. If you're a hater, you want to beware. Don't say I didn't tell you. Okay? And nope, I don't talk like that in the name of, it's not for the reasons people think. I talk like that. I'm actually being fair. That's fair. It's actually considered loving, believe it or not. Okay? It's like, okay, if you were to say something to somebody that looked like they were about to be tempted to bust in your door or do something stupid, and you said, hey, I'm gonna warn you, I'm gonna kill you. Okay? And I'm gonna have the right to do it per the law of the land here where I'm at. I'm gonna kill you. So you might not want to do it. If you tell that person that and they leave, that's considered, that's good, because you could have not said nothing. You could have just let them come in and just fuck around and find out. Right? Exactly. So I like to tell, people, hey, go on with your get up. Okay? I'm not here for that. I understand. I don't like everything about everybody either, and yada, yada. Okay? So back to what I was saying. The target becomes consumed with this whole thing, because it's like the target knows what they're experiencing, and they get into this energy in different phases of their healing and recovery where they're trying to prove, or they're trying to, express or explain. And that's because they know full well what they've lived and what they've experienced. And it's not obsession. It's this has happened. It is happening. And, the world needs to know. It's no different, well, it is different, but it's really no different from, the shit we've seen in TV, Lifetime movies, or just even in real life where, people got assaulted, and, because of the nature in which and how they got assaulted, SA'd, whatever they call it, you know what I'm saying? No one believed it. Why they didn't believe it? Because, okay, well, why were you at the fraternity party, bitch? And because I look like, just different reasons. But it does not take away from the fact that it indeed fucking happened. Okay? So a part of the target's recovery, they go through phases of that. They eventually get past it. Okay, they get past it. The more they understand about all of it, the more they're able to get safe and secure so they can be able to continue to heal. Okay, because a lot of it's been disrupted for them. And true recovery and healing requires safety. And for whatever reason, humans have seemed to forget about that. Safety in every sense of the word, not just safety, like some people got a shelter, but that shelter is almost as dangerous as if they were on the street, because they living with the enemy. They're living with the one who is trying to hurt them, who is trying to poison them, who is trying to derail them, who is trying. So in order to be able to truly heal, the safety has to get established pretty sturdy. And for a while, this is in an upheaval. Whether it is you have the target has to move around because of they have crazies after them, whether people know or believe that the crazies are after them, but they know that they got weirdo crazy bitches and niggas, you know what I'm saying? So they have to be in this state of, I gotta be on my toes, nigga, because shit, my fucker's going down, I gotta be on my toes. And so that is disrupting a part of it. And that's all by design too. But once the target, figures all that out and they get themselves there and they put up these things, it'll be less and less. The focus will become more and more redirected, okay, into their healing, into what's making them happy, into what they're creating. And that does happen. Okay, but I just want to share that for the onlookers of the world who has absolutely no understanding and knowledge about the true nature of this stuff, not from a clinical classroom textbook perspective. There are many people who done went to school, and read some shit, but I'm talking about I can't help it. I just can't, because that trips me out. It trips me out. I'm like, a whole lot of shit seems a certain way in theory, as if shit happens linear or by bullet point. That's why people be feeling some kind of way. It's like they'll get in there and say, all you have to do is this bitch ain't rolling like that. Let's get your scenario. And on this show, and I'm gonna end it here. There's this drama series that I love called The Good Place. And on one of the episodes, and one of my favorite characters, which is Chidi, because he's like a total nerd, total smarty, okay, nerd, and brilliant, and have a deep sense of moral ethics and so forth, right? And he knows his deal. He was considered one of the top, right? And when they got into the fake good place, you know, their arch nemesis that they didn't really know, okay, he created the physical manifestation of the scenario in which Chidi's character teaches about. It's the trolley example. For some of you, if you've studied philosophy and ethics and all of those things, then you know what I'm talking about. So it's like, what do? You know, you got 5 people over here, or you got 3 people over there and 2 people over there, and you have to make a choice, and either choice somebody's gonna die, bitch. And you know, so it's presenting this issue. What do you do? What's your process of how you come to a place of making a decision? Chidi, you know, in all of his intelligence, now he had a tendency to, you know, go, oh, well, you simply just do this and you simply do that. There's a solution. When he was forced to be put in a simulation of real time, the added factors is what really happens in life. You're in an emotional uproar. Everything is happening in the moment. Your body is going into, your brain is kicking in and is going into some kind of fight, flight, or freeze response. Okay. You're feeling pressed. You're feeling rushed. It's moving. It's happening. And all of those factors contribute to how you make a decision, not just the knowledge and ability to be able to read some shit bullet to bullet and say, all you have to do is just do this, this, and this. When you are forced and put in a position of real-time action, your theory then goes out the door, because now you're living in it, and your body, your system, the way your brain is set up, is going to dictate more than you know. And the reason why that happened is to show him that even though we may be able to sit down and have nice, deep discussions and bullet point things and say all you have to do is this and step 1, 2, 3, likewise, for the survivor, when you're dealing with narcissistic abuse and you're dealing with these types of things, that's why I say that class book, I don't know, nigga, You got to consider all things being equal, okay? What level of abuse is it? How has it affected that person up to this point? All of those things are a factor. So by knowing that, what I'm hoping for is that humans become open and stretch their minds.